Ladies and gentlemen, we have looked at a lot of big pieces of hardware, from yokes, throttles, full-on force feedback bases, DOF reality, and many different types of beautiful pieces that integrate well to improve your experience at flight simulation. But today, it's not about size. It's about having the right kind of control. Small, quick access buttons and switches that can save time and bring a sense of realism to your flying. More aligned on the military side of aviation. We're looking at the MOZA MTLP panel, a compact and useful control panel that I've been testing out recently in 2024 MSFS. Thank you for tuning in today, and I'm Chikmangla. We bring you the latest on what's hot at the sim, so please consider subscribing as it can greatly support my channel. The MOZA story in flight simming. If you've followed MOZA's journey from racing into flight simulation, you'll know they've been on a roll. From the AB9 force feedback base to the MFI yoke and now these tactile add-ons, they're just not throwing products into the market. These things are well thought out. The MTLP panel is meant to give you fast access to frequently used controls, especially handy for tactical jets, GA aircraft and light military flying. So it's not just jet specific. A lot of types of aircraft can be supported. Let's go ahead and unbox this panel. Out of the box, it's what you expect from MOZA. Clean packaging, well protected, and everything tucked in neatly. Now inside the box, we find the panel itself, a cable, no mounting bracket included. The build immediately stands out. It's got a brushed aluminum body and weighs enough to stay in place without sliding around. And it perfectly aligns with my desk. It's definitely not plastic, switches and buttons all feel crisp, not mushy. The build, layout, and what's on the panel. Let's take a look. Let's break down on what the MTLP panel actually holds. 8 physical toggle switches. Of course, it has on and off style, engine selector start knobs, one 2-axis rotary encoder that can be mapped to heading, barrow, etc., one gear lever with LED indicators, 3 momentary push buttons. This can be mapped to lights, AP, starter, etc. LED backlighting on the gear handle. Now everything's laid out in a clean rectangle. Nothing feels crowded, perfectly comfortable. The toggle switches are shot through but tactile. The engine start dials rotate with a good click, and the gear handle has a satisfying notch when switching positions. This isn't somewhat of a fancy panel. It's designed for utility and realism. You want to flip switches without thinking, and that's what it lets you do. That's important for us. Let's go with the setup. It's a plug and go with PitHouse, MOZA PitHouse software again. It syncs up well with the units what you have with MOZA. We've reviewed plenty of products that rely on either MOZA PitHouse or MOZA Cockpit, depending on the type of platform you're using, either racing or flight simming. Connection is via USB-C as usual. It runs through the MOZA PitHouse. Setup was simple. Once plugged in, the MTLP was recognized instantly. Now in MOZA PitHouse, you can map every button to your needs. Took me less than 10 minutes to set this up, assign everything and get it ready. Let's talk about how it performs. I think it's paired well with the military jet, of course. I think that's more relatable. We use the FA-18 Super Hornet in MSFS 2024. I've been flying the Super Hornet and the MTLP panel works well with it. Now the Super Hornet demands quick control access. You're flying a jet, especially during carry launches, afterburner toggles, and other scenarios. This panel gave me the ability to flip switches quickly for what I needed, without relying on hotkeys or in-cockpit clicks. Now the gear lever with LED feedback is particularly helpful during high-speed approaches, and with the physical toggles here it gave me more control and less need to fumble around. This setup really shines in fast-paced military flying, where time and precision matters. Now let's talk about pairing this with other MOZA gear. Of course I'm using the AB9 base with the MH16 flight stick. It's actually one of my most favorite units of last year. I've been thoroughly enjoying this in pretty much every flight. It doesn't have to be a military jet. I've used this on airliners. Yep, I've used this on Boeing, Airbus, GA flying. In fact, I do have a AY210 force feedback base along with a Cessna yoke. But I prefer to use this because it's much more reasonable and compact and perfect for my desk setup. No conflicts, no space issues. Now the MTLP panel fits right next to the throttle, or even above a keyboard tray if you're creative. Plus it also works just as well with any non-MOZA hardware, so keep that in mind. So it's just USB, so no ecosystem locked in, which is a plus for us. Let's talk about the pros and cons. I think this is a solid aluminum build. That really matters, and MOZA have been doing a great job in this. Most of their units have great builds. Even look at the AB9 base with the MH16 flight stick, and that's what I enjoy about this. Plus, it's a simple layout, no fluff, no extra buttons, so you don't really have 200 buttons because some units have plenty of buttons and it can confuse you. It's a simple layout and it's perfect. Tactile feel on all switches, that's important. You need to have feedback. LED gear status feedback is practical and visible, and that's important. It's great with jets, GA aircraft, and pretty much any aircraft you feel comfortable with. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a military jet. Easy setup in MOZA Pit House, takes minutes for you to get it up and ready. It's compact, fits in tight spaces. So in my desk, in my particular desk, my scenario, it fits perfectly fine. It doesn't crowd my space. Now in terms of cons, it's not really a con, but there's no included mounting bracket. So I wish that was included, otherwise I think it's a great unit. Now on final thoughts, a tactical add-on that makes sense is what I feel. This isn't a flagship product, but that's exactly why I like it. The MOZA MTLP panel doesn't try to do too much. It gives you that physical control over the basics, but at the right stuff, so that's important to note. All in one tight panel that fits on any sim desk. If you're flying jets like the Super Hornet or the Jaguar or doing low-level GF flights and want fast access to essential systems, this panel will improve your experience. You won't miss the keyboard and you'll wonder why you didn't have any of these before. It's not a flashy upgrade, but it's a smart one. By the way, we have covered plenty of other beautiful MOZA flight sim gear you want to check. It sure has been fun with MOZA upping our experience at flight simulation. Let me know what you think. Would you add something like this to your setup, or have you already tried something similar? If this review helped you out, hit that like button and subscribe for more flight sim hardware coverage. Until next time, take care and happy flying.